Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Heather and this is Create Your Own Cozy. This week I'm working on some projects for my own home and from my coming booth so that I can get ready for the opening of the new Angry Mama's Antiques and Interiors in Dahlonega, Georgia. I am getting, I believe, an 8x12 booth up there. So I'm trying to work with what I've got, take care of what I have now, nurture what I have now, so that I can get ready for the opening of that store. If you want to see what I come up with this week, stick around. Project number one this week is going to be a wall cabinet I found at the Goodwill store for $20. I have been looking on Facebook Marketplace for quite a while for cabinets for my downstairs bathroom and the girls' upstairs bathroom that Piper and Camden share. I got this at the Goodwill, paid $20 for it, and it got in the car, and then this happened. And I realized that it only came with one of the pins for the hinges. At least I had one of the pins to take with me to the hardware store, so I found a solution for that. I'll share that later. First thing I am doing is looking at all the pinks that I have in DIY paint, DIY cottage color paint, and sweet Pickins, and Piper picked the DIY cottage color Veranda. Now, hindsight, I probably should have either scuff sanded this or use some salvation solution, but you know what? I work harder, not smarter, right? So you make sure you stir up the cottage colors really well so that you can make sure anything that's in the bottom of the can gets within your whole paint mixture. And then I just start painting over and over again. Yeah, I probably should have scuff sanded that. It would have allowed for less scraping down the road. But do you ever have those projects that you just want to or need to get done? Piper had been asking for this so she could put stuff in her bathroom, and I was just ready to get it done. So I'm just painting. I'm watching some shows or YouTube videos down in my studio, and let me tell you, just getting out a paintbrush really did help my mood. I'm showing you now, this is what one coat looks like. You can see it has like a paint wash to it. You could totally have watered down this paint a little bit and just done a paint wash over the oak. That would have looked good with plaster as well. But let's keep going with more coats. I'm really loving these cling-on brushes. The cleanup is so easy. You just stick them in water and the paint just comes right off of the bristles. I have all of the paint and products that I'm using in today's video on my website at createyourowncozy.com, and every time you guys submit an order, I promise I do a happy dance because you guys are supporting my small business. So I did at least 3 coats. I really was aware that those grains were coming through, and after starting to paint I realized I didn't like it. Again, another reason I should have used white salvation solution to block that. But ironically, in the end, Piper told me that she wanted me to put dark oil wax on this so that the pink was a little richer, and guess what? That helped bring the grains right back out just a little bit. I let the dark oil wax sit on there for at least 10 minutes, and then I'm rubbing back any of the remnants. I don't want there to be a brown to it. I just want there to be a richness to it. 24 hours later, the stickiness is gone, and I am okay with her filling the cabinet up now. I took my hinge pin I had to the guys at Lowe's. We couldn't find any hinge pins, but we found these machine screws that were exactly the right length and width to use as a pin for these doors. You can see the one on the left has oil wax on it, the one on the right doesn't. There's just a slight difference in the shade. There's warmth on the one on the left as opposed to the right. Then I went and found these cute little glass knobs at Hobby Lobby, and here is what we came up with. If you guys are new here, welcome to Create Your Own Cozy. I would love it if you hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and let me know you are here. When I was painting project number 2, I kept putting it on top of the stool that has been in my studio forever. I got this for free at a free estate sale at one time, and I've never done anything to upcycle it. So I'm just sanding off the water damage on the top right here, doing a really good cleaning, and then I'm flipping this over and I'm using Blue Hills Cottage color. Yes, it's been sitting for quite a while, but with a very good mix, it turned out to be such a beautiful color. I did 2 coats on just the legs and the underside. And I really didn't know what I wanted to do with the top of it. I looked through all the other Cottage colors and decided to go with Plaster on the top. Originally, I was going to look through the IOD transfer books that I still have open. I was thinking I get to showcase both IOD and DIY paint in the same booth when I'm up in Dahlonega. So let's use this stool to showcase both of the product lines. I ended up doing 3 layers of the color Plaster. I am really loving this new color. After looking through my stash, I decided to go with the Delft Traditions in the black color. This also comes in blue. And I am, for the first time, doing a paint inlay with an all-in-one paint. So I'm going over this with my 3rd coat of the color Plaster. While it is still wet, that is when I'm going to put my pattern on there. I did have to cut it so that it would repeat well over this round surface, and I just stuck it all down at the same time while the paint was wet. You can see that I'm moving the paper around a little bit. Before it gets embedded, you have a minute to be able to readjust, but once you get it down, you kind of need to leave it where it is. I'm kind of playing with fire here. Normally I spritz the paper, and I wish I would have done that. I feel like the wrinkles are not as obvious when the paper has been spritzed with the water mister first. But I'm going to make sure that there's enough paint on this side over here, put the strip on that side, and then I'm going to use the IOD brayer to just roll over the paper, make sure it is embedded into the paint I put down. And I'm going to use the water mister over the top of it to reawaken the paint that is in the paper so that it melds and embeds into the paint that I painted down. Guys, I know I have bare feet here. Ever since I got off that sailing trip, it's gotten me back to my Orlando, Florida roots where I was just barefoot all the time. So just bear with me. At least I had a pedicure, so they're not as bad as they could be. So with the all-in-one paint, I didn't let it dry all the way. I did a little test to see if it had melded well. I re-wet it and then just pulled back, and you can see that it is a beautiful paint inlay. And then I just pull off the other strip. There is a vintage look to it, and I love it. I went ahead and took it out and sprayed it with 2 times Rust-Oleum clear paint so that none of this would get smeared. I didn't want to take my chances. After that was dry, I did take it back inside and distress it a little bit with a 220 grit sandpaper, and then I used Sweet Pickins Final Finishes in the color, or in the sheen matte, over the top of it. The all-in-one paint has a sealer in it, but the paint inlay, I really wanted it to be sealed, which is why I went over it a couple times with the Final Finishes. For my third and final project this week, Henry wanted to make sure he was checking on my status. I got this nice narrow bookcase for $20 off of Marketplace, and I love these narrow bookcases for my booth life. Specifically, was thinking I was going to put my Sweet Pickins milk paint on this shelf. So I'm using pink again, but this one's going to be for my coming booth. So I'm using two different shades of pink, one for my home, one for my booth. I guess I really do my booth like I would my home. I'm doing equal parts Sweet Pickins milk paint to water, and then I just did a little extra water there and used a whisk to stir it up really well, and I set a timer for 10 minutes. I usually start around the 7-8 minute mark. I can't seem to wait a full 10 minutes, but this is raw wood, so there's not going to be any chipping. I know this. When you do milk paint on raw wood, you're not going to get any chipping, but you are going to get this beautiful finish. And if I wanted to take a sander to this, that would be a really cool look as well. But I've decided what I'm going to do is just a two-tone look, and I am going to leave the backing this color of the wood and then paint everything else this beautiful pink color. I end up doing 2 solid coats. Like I said, there was no chipping. If I wanted to get some crackle, I could, after the second coat, take some water to the milk paint and a heat gun to get some crackle to it. But I decided I just wanted a solid coat, 2 solid coats of paint to show that you could do milk paint that way as well. So after that dries overnight, I hit it with some sandpaper just to get a nice smooth finish, see if there was any natural distressing. This could have looked really cool with an orbital sander if I had just really heavily distressed it, but decided I didn't want to do that either. I wanted this beautiful pink color to show through. So I wiped back the sanding dust with a soaking wet rag to see if any wet distressing would naturally happen. And not much naturally happened with the wet distressing. So I decided to go with it and cover this with a Sweet Pickins Final Finishes top coat in the matte finish, and thought it would be a good example to show people where I'm selling the milk paint that it doesn't always have to crackle and chip, that it can, especially if you are on raw wood, you can just have a regular paint finish with something that is durable like milk paint. So what did you guys think of today's video? I had a good time getting these 3 medium-sized projects done, ready for my coming booth. I'm gonna put that stool up in the Dahlonega booth and have that wall cabinet done for my kids' bathroom. I feel like I got a lot accomplished in today's video. Thank you guys for, I don't know, thank you for the YouTube world where I had not been doing a video. It was good for me to get back in the swing of things. The girls are starting school. Let's see, we have open houses next week. Camden has her birthday on August the 1st, and the first day of school is August the 5th, and Piper will be turning 16. We have a lot going on around here, but Also, when the kids are back in school, I can really focus on getting my space ready up in Dahlonega. The Angry Mama's Antiques and Interiors family is opening up another store up in Dahlonega, Georgia, which is this beautiful little quaint, picturesque, very much Lifetime movie looking town. And it's they have a lot of artist events and stuff, so I'm really excited to be able to carry Iron Orchid Designs, DIY paint, and my JRV paper products all in one location. I wonder if I should do an in-person event up there in the future. Don't worry, it's all kind of turning in my head. My husband tried to talk to me last night. I was like, hold on a second. I need to get all this stuff out of my brain. And I just put Dahlonega, and I had 22 different line items of things that I needed to tend to or get ready. It's very exciting to have everything in one spot. And I have never opened a booth at the time where a store is doing a grand opening. So there's definitely an excitement with all the vendors. I believe there's gonna be around 100. Like, it's a big size store, so I'm really excited about it. It's looking like it's gonna be Labor Day weekend, and you know I'm gonna take you along. As soon as the kids get back in school, I will be going, making this a very fun grand opening. If you guys are new here, thank you so much for checking me out. Please consider subscribing and joining the Create Your Own Cozy family. Hitting your bell notification to all so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite was, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye! Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check me out over at createyourowncozy.com.